These are the resume instructions for the rough draft that is due at the end of class today. First, we're going to go to a classroom computer and open up Chrome, Google Chrome. Over on the right-hand side, you're going to click the apps and then to Docs. Click on Template Gallery, scroll down to resumes, and we have a couple of examples. Now, these are plain. There's nothing wrong with these, but if you would like a more creative one, you can go to Canva and in the search bar, type in resume, and you're going to see much more interesting ones here, some even with pictures. If you would like to work with one of these and customize it, you're going to follow the exact same instructions for the sections, what you should copy and paste into them. It's up to you, but I'm going to work with this template on Google Docs. Again, same instructions for Canva. All right, it's a good idea to have the example that we looked at yesterday from Bailey, the former student, and the rubric that's on the back. Let's start at the top of the rubric. First thing, we're going to need name and contact information. You need your first and last name. Nickname is fine. Please make sure capitalization, especially on your last name, is correct. I'm going to need at least one way to get in touch with you. Personally, on my real resume, I don't include my address because I don't want to give this to strangers. Maybe I'd put the school address, but not my personal one. I've deleted that. You can put your actual address on there if you want to. When it comes to your phone number, I'm not going to call you. But if you do include a phone number as one of your ways to get in touch with you, make sure it does have an area code. This is the school one. And then an email address. This can be a school one or a personal one. Again, I'm not going to email you, but have at least one of those two or both of those things on there for your contact information. That is now 10 points. Next is career goal. This one happens to be up here on this template. You may find on your template that you may need to add it somewhere in here. This one, of course, we're not going to be industrial designers. I want you to pretend that something, hypothetically, in our area of communications, like photographer, graphic designer, mass communicator, social media marketing, anything that we've kind of talked a little bit about this year, you should put there. I'm going to put photographer. You could even be specific and say like nature photographer or portrait photographer, wedding photographer, just something in our area of study. That is worth 10 points somewhere on this resume. For education, let's start saving us some time. If you go to Schoology, there's a folder called Resume Project, and in that is Bailey's example. Instead of having to type all of this, let's just start copying and pasting. Let's copy everything underneath the education section and go back to our template. There is an education section on this one. I would just replace that information. You go to Midway High School, this is the address, the phone number, and so on. For me, I'm going to put this on the next line. That's just the way I like to do that. What year are you going to graduate? 4, 5, 6, 7. This is optional. If you want to delete GPA, you can. If you want to include it out of 4.0, if you have class rank on there, if you know what it is, whatever, I don't know how many people are in the class this year. This is optional. This is required. That is worth 10 points. Then we have the skills section. Definitely copy this right here underneath skills on Bailey's. Right click copy or control C. Then on this template, it's up here. Paste it. Everyone leave the photography chapter. I think I'm going to include spaces between these to make it look more organized. You can leave it as you want to. You could even, bold this section if you want to. Okay, it's up to you how you want to design this. Leave it. Leave writing, leave design. That's all true about you. Now, technology, we may need to add a little bit or take away some. Leave that Photoshop and Google Docs, Slides, Schoology, and Pic Collage. Now, this last part, if this isn't true to you, we can delete it. You can add some, take away some. If you use social media, I would put that on there because not everybody has those skills. This stuff is required. The rest of it is going to be edited to fit your needs. That is also worth 10 points. School activities. This template doesn't come with that, so I'm going to copy and paste a section. Again, it doesn't matter what order these go in. And on Bailey's, she called it School Organizations and Volunteer Activities. I hope I spelled that right. Okay, all of you are a member of our department. Copy and paste that for the minimum. You've been a member of this department from 2023 to the present. That means you're still in it. Now, some of you are members of the Midway High School band, choir, orchestra, BPA, FCCLA. There's so many things, FFA. Definitely spell it out because not everybody knows what these things are. Business Professionals of America, BPA. Okay, that's how you should do anything with an acronym. Not everybody knows what BPA, so spell it out first. And then whatever years you've done it, 2022, 2023, or 2022 to the present, just it's up to you. Okay, past couple of years, organizations at school only. Now, volunteer. We have several things that you can do here at the school. There's Christmas Adopt a Child, where you donated money or gifts in your third period class. We've done Food for Families food drive in November, maybe a blood drive. Anytime you donate your time or money or efforts to a volunteer activity at school, let's add that, even if it was through a club or organization here on campus. So, I donated to the Food for Families food drive. I was a donor this year and this fall in 2023. Leave it out if you didn't do it, though. All of you have at least one item for the required 10 points. Then we have contest participation and awards. You can call this contests and awards or honors and awards. Even if you don't win, you are going to include something on there because all of you are going to be a featured artist. Copy it from Bailey's in this year's photo show on May 20th. So copy paste this. This does apply to you. But also think about all the other clubs and sports and fine arts that you're here in at school. Maybe you were on the district track team. Maybe you got all region honors for band. There's probably some items that you could add here as long as you have the year or years on there as we've done up here. And in this example, let's add that under honors and awards so that you have more if that's true. Otherwise, one is fine. Other skills, I don't see a section for kind of miscellaneous stuff. Let's add that to this template unless you have it on yours. Other skills or other, how about other organizations and skills? All of you need to add that you have extensive experience with iPads. Again, not everybody does this. This sets you apart from other high school students. All of you have worked with iPad Air. Now, some of you have taken foreign language classes, so you can put, 2 years Spanish class experience. Some of you are truly multilingual or bilingual, school in English and Spanish, which I can't type today. If this is true, put that on there. Some of you might even need to specify that you can write, read, and speak. Okay, fluently, other languages. Some of you have other skills here, like you can play an instrument. Anything that stands out about you and your special skills, add here. Also, other organizations, if you're a member of a religious group, youth group, that sort of stuff, put that here. I think Bailey had on there that she was a member of the local dance studio. So put that information there if you would like to include it, but gotta have at least one. Finally, references. I don't believe references was on there. Let's add a section for that. References. Go back to Bailey's. I will be reference person number 1 if you don't have 2 people. This is my real information. I am not going to call your people, okay? I'm not going to call or email anyone, but you need to have at least 2 people who would vouch for you if this was a real resume. Find a friend, a classmate, a teacher, a counselor, anyone, and put in one way to get in touch with them. That can be an email address, a phone number, whatever it is. If for some reason this blue underline, this hyperlink goes to, as you're typing, you can leave it. It'd be nice for the person receiving the resume to just click an email. Or if you don't like the way that looks, right click, remove link. It's up to you. But name, how you know that person, and how to get in touch with them. And be as consistent as possible. Get everything lined up consistently. The only optional section is your work experience. The example on Bailey's was that she actually had a job. If you've never had a job, you can delete this whole section, but think to yourself, has anyone entrusted you with a task that may or may not have resulted in money? Do you mow lawns? Do you babysit? Do you pet sit? Is there anything that you do outside of school for that sort of experience? If the answer is no, hit delete and it's perfectly fine. But if it is, look at hers and make sure that you include where and when you worked at that place. Finally, I think we just need to clean up a little bit, get rid of some extra spaces. If it splits, maybe put that on the next page. This is a rough draft, so we're just making sure we have everything on the rubric that we need, and then we'll go back and look at spelling, grammar, and punctuation and organization before we do the final copy. From here, file, download a PDF, and turn in that PDF on Schoology for the resume assignment today.